So, we're back. I would say morning, but there's only 10 minutes of morning left. We got out here this morning, and the old road track did not want to start. Dropped a cell in one of the batteries. So, we tried charging it. We ended up buying new ones, because it just did not do anything, did it, Jim?
It's dead.
It's very dead. So, one's good, one's bad. Not a lot of seedings happened, but yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot more productive day, but these things happened. Quick run to town, bit of socialising at the dealership, coffee, bit of lunch. Let's get these batteries in and get to work. It's alive! It's amazing what new batteries will do. So, we're just going to get out, do a quick run check. We should be all good. We haven't really had any problems since we put fertilizer in that. But since we basically put the extra box on, we really haven't had any problems. We got more than enough fan speed to do the fertilizer with the 6 primaries from there, and the seed bin we can actually run the fan pretty slow, which is good because it stops. Like we were borderline cracking lentils before, because there's a few steel pipes on the front here, and as they come up I think it was cracking them. Excessive speed. But since we've put the extra box on, we haven't really had any problems. The only problem we seem to still have with this, and I'll show you it, is these little locking tabs for adjusting the seed depth. They will snap off in there, or they'll shake and work their way back, but I think that's partly due to the excessive rocks that we have. We also had to drill them all out and go to M10 bolts. The M8s that were there just couldn't hack it, but other than that it does put the crop in well. So I'm just checking for seed. You can see here there's lentils coming out that one, and it's buried in the stubble, but in here, right down in there, can't see it all, there is fertilizer. So it's all looking good. Might as well get back out to it. Alright, we are rolling. I was not expecting to have a cell die on a battery this morning, but it happens. We are going. So yeah, but there's been a few mistakes this morning. Worked out I didn't put enough rainwater in yesterday when I brought the truck out, which I didn't show, but yeah, I did some maths and my maths was very wrong, so that's going to have to come back at some point, but that's minor. I got to shoot off anyway this afternoon, take some kids to some sport practice, but that's part of it. I did have a problem when I fired up with the ag leader screen that we run in here, well actually the steering. I think that was partly due to the flat battery and trying to start it, but the thing I love about ag leader is I was able to fix it just here. I didn't need a service tech, I didn't need anyone, it actually told me what to do. It said that my steering control module was in recovery mode, need to update the firmware. Went into the screen, into the firmware tab, steering control module, update. Did that, waited a couple minutes, and she's all good. She's come back to life. So that is one of the advantages of ag leader, which we love. And with the remote viewing and assistance, anyway, if I needed to, I could have rung the dealer and said, hey, this is what's going on. They could log on, they can actually control the screen. And they could see what I was doing if I was doing it wrong. So one of those things that really helps with efficiency. And now I am at the end of the run. It is doing it for me. Like turn path, magic. Especially with this long road train we got going around here. Basically, I don't know if you can see from the dust, but that wheel there on the end of the bar stops on the spot, turns around. We've got everything tracking really well. It'll all come round behind, lines up, and in a minute I'll put the bar in the ground again, just like that, and down we go down the other end of the paddock. So, I'll leave it there for now. We'll see if see what else happens today. Alright, this is much later. As you can see, the sun is setting and the moon is up. So, I have finished with, well, actually what happened? When I got in the seeder, I was going to stop and show some what we're dealing with, some of our rocky reefs. Didn't get there because I had a phone call, and then I spent most of the time on the phone, and by the time I realised what the time was, I went, I need to go take my daughters to hockey training. Which is overhauled, done and dusted now. This is our batching unit. So at the moment we've got rainwater in the front tank because that's for our inoculants. Harvest time, hopefully the truck's not too loud. We also have our mixing hopper, which is actually on scales. There's like scales just there. So load cells, so we can actually weigh our chemicals in. And then obviously we've got a boom on the side, 4 shuttles, and at the moment that is just mains water. I realised I didn't say what mains water was in the last one, but because we don't have any groundwater here, all our mains water is fed from the Murray River, which is 300 odd k's away. It's the biggest river in Australia, obviously, for those that don't know. It's all fed from up New South Wales, Victoria, even some of Queensland, all runs down through the Darling Basin, all the way down through South Australia and out to the sea. So having no groundwater, it's piped all over the state. So it comes here, we pay for it, and it's the only water we have, like I said. So the back one's just mains water, which James has been using for spraying. Keeping rainwater in the front for the inoculant. But when we get onto cereals here shortly, we'll actually be putting like EZN or UAN, liquid nitrogen, in the back one, and then it'll just be normal mains water in the front one. Which we've actually got sitting over there in some big tanks ready to roll. But anyway, since I stuffed up yesterday, I didn't put enough rainwater in to finish the paddock. We're going to take this out the paddock. We'll load the seeder tonight. The B-double's still out there. James is driving, so we'll load her all up. Probably won't finish the paddock tonight because why? But we'll bring the trucks home, and that way we'll have enough to finish. That is the plan. So I better go before it gets too dark. Well, we got some pretty views tonight, and it looks like I've got here just in time. That is Jimbo, and I think there's an orange ute following that around, which would be our neighbour. Oh, he's just in time to help too. Morning. It is the next day. It is a beautiful morning once again. I didn't film anything out the paddock because it was just too dark. The camera wasn't working, and there was more talking than actual. With Chris being there, we're just talking instead of doing work. So we're finished with that for now. I have I brought it home. We'll put UAN in the back tank, use the front one for water, get ready to sow some wheat. Around there, Jim bought the B double home too last night because we don't need that out the paddock anymore. So we're slowly moving stuff home because the farm we're going to go to next is actually like past the home farmyard. So it's always easier to clean out, refuel, calibrate everything in the yard. So once we get to, I think we've got 40 hectares left to go this morning. So then we'll shift home, so we should do that in plenty of time, which is why we didn't go last night after we filled. We basically filled and knocked off. Just no point. Yeah, so we'll go get that done. I'm just waiting for a lift for someone to take me out the paddock to fire up the Rotrack, which, fingers crossed this morning, the battery should be good. So there should be no hold-ups. And then Jim's going to get back to rinsing this. It's pretty simple. I think realistically the chemicals that we were using and what we're going into are not really going to hurt too much as long as you do a water rinse. So he's just pulling off the filters and making sure there's no residue sitting in the bottom of them, which doesn't take long. Yeah, then once we get the cedar home, we'll pull the old DAF out of the shed there, which has got that wheat that I mixed up in the last video, and get that in the cedar and calibrated, ready to go. So yeah, we'll see where this video goes. Cheers. While I wait, I know a few of you have noticed that we run red tractors, but I'm here to say we also run green ones. The wife ran over some baling twine in the orchard, and she's been asking me for weeks to cut it out from the mower. So we are multicoloured here. We don't just run red gear. We actually do have another old tractor that I spent countless hours growing up on. I think it's just around here in the shed. Affectionately known as the Galloping Goat. The old John Deere 8650, which is tucked up there in the back of the shed. It's a big tractor once. So I think it's over 20,000 hours on it. It's been rebuilt a couple of times, but it is now, well, it was a big seeding tractor. It is now a bin spinner. So we don't just run red gear. We look at all gear. It just comes down to price and service. So anyway, looks like my ride's here, so let's get to the paddock. Success! She started this morning. Just been warming up for a few minutes. Just walked the tubulator out the edge of the paddock, and we will do a run check and we will get going. Another glorious morning, but I don't know where my rain clouds are, but they're no clouds here at the moment. So we will get into it. Alright, well we're home. Jimbo has just emptied the lentils out, the truck's gone, just drove off. And I am moving a bit of stuff around there on the nice concrete pad. So much nicer than doing it out the paddock, but need to refill trace elements. So we buy our trace elements in bulk. They're in this tank here. It's a custom blend of ZMC based on what our soil tests tell us that we need. So I need to refill that front tank there. I've pumped out the cobalt moly into the little cart right down the very back because that one's going to be UAN, the bigger one, that one. And moly mixes all right with UAN, but cobalt doesn't. So that's a no-no. So that's going down the back. The reason we had it in that tank is we weren't putting out UAN, and it allows us to do 200 hectares on a tank versus that's about 90-ish. So it just meant on lentils we could go further. But the cobalt moly and the ZMC can't be mixed. Like, they can, but not in the tank. In the tank they react over time, but we're using the cobalt moly water mix to carry the trace elements. The trace elements get injected into this venturi. This one here is from the cobalt moly, and then they're just moving out into the ground. Not a problem there, just when they sit in the tank. So we've got to move things around a little bit. This is the main tank, which is the UAN, so that'll now come over to here, which will go down the lead time. There's the other one here, just tucked away. That is from the very back. That just needs to be plugged in there. And on this other side, the Hardy at the back behind the box, the first one, was doing the inoculant, which is this line. It now has to be moved over to here, which is our fungicide. So our uniform, or triafol, whatever we're doing, will go in there, and that actually gets split on the bar, and half of it will go down deep, down the lead time, and the other half comes out behind the press wheel, which is good in with rhizoctonia root, well, that attacks your roots. It helps prevent going down deep, protects your primary roots, your initial ones, and on top protects the crown roots later on in the season when they come out the top. So that is why we split that, and we've been doing trials with the GRDC, which is the Grower Research Development Corporation here in Australia. They've been doing a whole study test on rhizoctonia, root disease, in different trials all around Australia, different methods of controlling it, and we've been doing the fungicide, and every year our results have proven you're better to do it than not. Yeah, it's very easy for us to do the trials because we did strips up and down the whole paddock. That cart would just turn off for the nil strip and turn on for the treated strip. Treated strips covered the cost of doing the thing and some every time. So healthier roots, better plant, hopefully it leads to more, well, has led to more grain, anywhere from 250 to a tonne better where we treated it versus not. So that is why we do it, and it's actually not too hard. That tank's just set up by itself. You just tip the uniform in and water, and away it goes. So yeah, that is where we're up to. I think I'll leave it there for now because we've got a bit to do, a bit of calibrating, get the weed in. So yeah, I don't want these to become too long, otherwise you'll all lose interest. But hopefully you enjoyed this one, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.